here comes Success Coach Andy, the most beneficial advice program on the radio. For the next hour, you'll learn about success and happiness and how to take control of your life. And now, here's Success Coach Andy Shepherd.
This is Success Coach Andy. I'm Andy Shepherd of Shepherd Success Coaching, here with you every Monday at 9 p.m. on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. Do you ever feel that you are not really going the way you were meant to? Would you like me to share a technique that utterly changed my life to a point that and pointed it rapidly into the direction I'd always wanted? Of course you do. Tonight I will show you how to find your life purpose. My name's Andy Shepherd, and my mission is to help you to get a better life by getting you from where you are to where you want to be faster than a speeding bullet. That's what I always say. But it's basically going to get you there pretty quickly. It always saddens me when someone famous dies. Are you the same? James Garner died on Saturday. He was 86 years old. I don't know about you, but I expect somehow that movie stars are going to live forever. Maybe it's because their appearance on film never changes. So part of me thinks that they won't. Foolish, I know, but there it is. I'm sure that James was following his life purpose, and that this is why he was such a great success. I'm sure that he was really, really enjoying what he was doing, and that's important, don't you think? So what would your life look like if you followed your life purpose? A lot of people tell me they are already following their life purpose, but they're not. I'm sorry, they just aren't. They need to convince themselves that they are, because they couldn't bear to see the truth, to know the truth, to feel it, to realize that what they were living is, pretty much a lie. How about making sure that this isn't the case for you too? Just stay with me, and by the end of the show, you will know how to find out if you are on the right track, or if you are not. I'll show you how to get there. Does that sound good to you? Well, please feel free to say yes, Andy. There's nobody listening, so let's just get closer. I'm a part of you now. I'm in your house. I'm in your car. I'm wherever you are. I'm kind of visualizing where you guys are. What are you doing? Are you listening to me on your cell phone? Are you listening to me on your laptop? I wonder what's going on. Also, do you know anybody who may find tonight's topic interesting? Well, I'm sure you do, so go on, give them a text right now and get them to tune in as well. Let me tell you a little bit about me. Well, I'm a success coach, and I've been doing this for quite a few years now. I work through transformational process of looking back at stuff that's happened in the past, because, it's what's happened in our past which is basically causing problems now. That's basic psychology, isn't it? Well, I use a different technique. I use I'm certified by Tony Robbins and Cloe Madanes, and I've got a wealth of knowledge from various other sources as well. So I've had the privilege to help hundreds of people getting better relationships, better income, happier lives. I've coached every type of person and from every walk of life you can imagine. For example, multiple Emmy Award winner. I've had up-and-coming, highly successful business people, multiple millionaires, and, I could talk all night about the different people that I've helped. So let me tell you a bit about what the show is all about. I'm a firm believer that we should get more out of our lives. And I'm not talking about more debt or doing more meaningless, crazy stuff, but getting more about what really fires us up, what really makes us wake up in the morning, leap out of bed and say, yes, let me at it. That's what I want. I want you all to wake up in the morning and go, yes, let me at it. I want you to have a job like that where you're really fired up and making it happen. So I'm going to help share with you my knowledge along the way and what has really got me to there. I've got lots of stuff that I've been doing. I've studied this a huge amount, and I'm just here to share that with you. One thing is that I want to tell you about is that there is one magnificent piece of technology which is so incredible and so powerful that it can make the most amazing things happen. And the great news is that every single one of us has this piece of technology. So what is that? It's our mind. Unfortunately, like all powerful things, if we use it in the wrong way, it can terrible relations, create a terrible life for ourselves. But, there is a way of being able to really lock into our mind and make it so that do what we want to. So, we all have a brain, though I know some of us may feel that, in certain people it's missing. So how come we're not all successful? Well, like I said, we just aren't using our minds in a way that give us what we want. So I'm here to help you to change all of that. So keep listening to me every Monday at 9 p.m., and I'll give you the tools that will help you to transform that. How does that sound? Great. I hope you're saying. If you've just tuned in, you're listening to Success Coach Andy. I'm Andy Shepherd on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. Go to shepherdcoachandy.com and get your free PDF on accountability. So accountability is something that is really useful to us. It's a tool which is going to really take you to getting to achieve your goals. So go to successcoachandy.com and get your free copy. Today we're talking about how to find your life purpose. So I just want to take you back. I want to tell you a little story, okay? I just want to take you back to a sweltering Saturday evening in Brazil in August 2009. The fan was set at full speed, but it was just pushing the hot air around my tiny little room that I had at the back of an English school that I created. I had like a couple of windows in there, but I didn't have a view of anything. The room was filled with mold, and I was in a pretty bad state. I'd sold everything that I owned in the UK to move and have a dream life in Brazil, but it wasn't happening. I didn't have any money, so I wasn't able to go out. I wasn't able to do anything. I was just sitting there and just whiling away the time and, just feeling sorry for myself, basically. So what I did was I would be, at the time I drank. I've been actually sober now for 4 years, but at that time, I was drinking pretty much every day. And I remember I was drinking as normal on that night, watching TV, because that's the only thing that I could afford to do. And the only friends that I got was cockroaches. So there was a point where I just went, what on earth is going on? I realized that, there was much more to life. So what was I going to do to make it change? And I thought, I've done all of the physical stuff. I've worked hard 14 hours a day. So the one thing I've not done is worked on my mind. So I started doing this. I went into a search engine and I started trying to find anything from anybody. And I started finding stuff from Bob Proctor, from people like Tony Robbins and Jack Canfield. And this is where everything started to change for me. Accountability is an essential tool. So I want to give you a free PDF of a chapter that I wrote in a book, which is called Zero to Hero. So go to successcoachandy.com to get your copy. I'm Andy Shepherd of Shepherd Success Coaching. When we return, I'll tell you what keeps us where we are instead of following our dreams and our God-given purpose for living. You're tuned in to Success Coach Andy on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX.
Learn how to use powers you already possess. Tune into Success Coach Andy every Monday night at 9 p.m. Unveil the life that you are always destined to live. Change can happen in an instant. Success Coach Andy, Monday at 9 p.m. Ranking Arizona reminds you to vote for your favorite Arizona businesses before July 31st. So vote early and vote often. And when voting for your favorite radio station, remember where you heard this.
Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
Google Ranking Arizona.
Roofing is very simple if you can see what the problem is. Hi, this is Jack the Roofer. We offer a free, detailed, no-obligation estimate. Pictures, easy to read, easy to understand. It's not a number scribbled on a card. We give you a detailed proposal of everything that we're going to do, simplified so you understand what's being done. Jack the Roofer, 602-996-7443, 602-996-7443.
Or email jacktheroofer@cox.net.
Earn $2,000 to $3,000 per month part-time in a home-based business with a purpose. Earn as much as $8,000 to $10,000 per month full-time as a marketing rep for a new line of products to be released by a billion-dollar company. That's right, we are partnering with a billion-dollar company in an industry that is set to explode in the next 2 years. To get started, text the word PURPOSE to 88202. Earn $2,000 to $3,000 per month part-time and $8,000 to $10,000 per month full-time. Text PURPOSE to 88202.
After all the stories about Barack's, the car they had, and you could see the ground when they drove in it, it was so rusted out at the bottom, or he liked to move the old coffee table, and he had shoes that were too tight, and he helps Malia with her homework. And after all those stories, do you feel the robust recovery more today than you did yesterday?
Catch the Laura Ingraham Show Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. on KFNX.
I'm Diane Douglas. I'm the only pro-life, pro-family, conservative Republican running for Superintendent of Public Instruction who is opposed to Common Core standards. Common Core is the Obamacare of education. This big government program turns over control of our children's education, teachers' pay, and schools' ratings to the whims of Washington bureaucrats in the Obama administration. Common Core also mandates long-term data tracking of your children. My primary opponent, John Huppenthal, supports Common Core. This unconstitutional mandate will also bankrupt districts by forcing expensive, high-stakes testing, robbing our classrooms of needed funds. I'm Diane Douglas. I'm running for Superintendent of Public Instruction to stop Common Core and return local control to Arizonans. I am asking for your vote.
Paid for by Elect Diane Douglas Primary.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid.
Welcome back to Success Coach Andy. I'm Andy Shepherd of Shepherd Success Coaching, here with you every Monday at 9 p.m. on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. Tonight, I'm talking about how to find your life purpose. Do you realize that each and every one of you is capable of something utterly, utterly magnificent? So magnificent that if you knew it, it would completely blow your mind. Most of us believe that we just can't do what other people are doing. Right? They're doing utterly amazing things, and some of us are some of you are probably doing them. Some of you are dreaming. Some of you believe that you can't do them. But you know something? I really believe that the power of the mind is so great that when you put your mind to it, you can make it happen. Now, I know that some of you may be in a kind of a place which is not too cool. I've been there as well, and I'm going to tell you all about that. I'm going to open my heart up, and I'm going to, give you all of the secrets, because you deserve it. You are all my new friends now, my audience out there. You're all my buddies. So your buddies, you tell them all of your secrets, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up and tell you about it. And hopefully you'll be inspired as to where my life was going and how I changed it to go to where it is now, that maybe you'll follow this path too. So think about the people who have, achieved some amazing things, who've like climbed the highest mountain when it was impossible, or, in the past broke the 4-minute mile, or to have, done any record in sport, to have made that happen. All of it was completely down to the mind. The one phrase which made a big impact in my life was Henry Ford saying, if you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. And that goes with anything. So, you may think, well, to be magnificent and do something utterly incredible, I need to have the right genetics. No, that's not true. It's like a small percentage of a difference, so minute, it's probably like 3 or 4% of a difference that this can make. Well, what about all of the rest of the 96 or 97? It's not much of an advantage, so that's not it. You may say, well, I need to be rich. Well, there's lots of people who've been poor who've made it. You may say that I need to be in the right family or the right circumstance or the right country or whatever. Well, basically, I remember this phrase, where there's a will, there's a way. And it really is true. If you will and decide to do something, you are going to make it happen. Let me tell you a little story. There was a guy who's pretty famous, and he had a son who had no ears. But he decided that he was not going to accept that his son was going to be a deaf mute, which is what all of the doctors are telling him. He and his wife decided, no, we're not accepting this reality, and this son of mine, this beautiful person, is going to live in a normal life with people who've got good hearing, perfect hearing, and he's going to be an important person in society, and he's going to have the same ability and the same possibilities as everybody else. And he actually achieved it. That person as Napoleon Hill. If you read the second chapter of Think and Grow Rich, you will see the story in there. So if you can have something so surmountably difficult as not having any ears, you can do anything. And I could tell you countless stories. And if you ever meet me, I'm going to be able to do that for you. So, something, we're all kind of caught up in the rat race. So the rat race is where we've got a job and we work really, really hard. Or at least that is the way it was for me, and I know it's the way for a lot of people. So what you do is you wake up in the morning and you go to work, and you have to rush so that you're not going to be late, and you work really, really hard. And so what you do at the end of it, when you're absolutely shattered, is you try and find different ways to distract you from the terrible life that you've got, the difficulties that you've got. And so a lot of the time you're going to spend your money, which is you've worked hard at, to just give you some sense of relief and to get you to escape from this. This is the rat race, because then you're spending your money on a better car and a bigger house and more clothing or whatever it is, and then you've got more debt, so then you have to work harder, and then you have to buy more things to make you cope with this. This is just so bad. It's like life controls us, but we can change that, and we must do this. We must start to control life. A statistic that I heard, I don't know if this is 100% correct, so it might be out of date, but I think it was like 85% of Americans don't realize their dream within their lifetime. To me, this is a monumental disaster, and I don't want this to be the case for any of you. If you've just tuned in, you're listening to Success Coach Andy. I'm Andy Shepherd on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. Go to successcoachandy.com and get your free PDF on accountability. To get your goals met, accountability is a really great tool to get you there. So go to successcoachandy.com and get your free copy. That's successcoachandy.com. So let's carry on talking about how to find your life purpose. So you're interested in finding your life purpose. So which will utterly change your life, right? Well, I just want to tell you a few things before we get to that point. And, like I said, a lot of people believe that they've actually found their life purpose and that they're on the track. But, I had that as well. I remember that I was living in Brazil and I had found a beautiful brunette, and basically I left everything behind. I sold my house, I sold my Mercedes, I left a really, really good career because I decided that my life purpose was to be with the woman that I loved, and we'd have kids and we'd get married and everything would be fantastic. Well, it never worked out anything like that. We stayed together for about 2 years and then it just wasn't working. So we parted. And there I was, lost in Brazil, if you like. I mean, great place to be lost, fine. So at the time I was working on I had an English school out there because that was the one thing that I could do. I could teach English because I'm English, so that is my native tongue. And for Brazil, it's really important that their English is of a good level for them to do well, because most of their interactions are with America. So that is an essential thing. So basically, when I'd found my true life purpose, I was able to, and people think I was crazy in the first place to leave what I had in the UK. So I had a successful school. I had, some good money that was there. I had a beautiful apartment. I had everything that I needed. And I gave it all up because I found my true life purpose. And, my true life purpose is to do what I'm doing now, to be a speaker, to be an author, and to really work as a coach and to really start to transform and help people's lives and so on. So that got me easily out of Brazil, which I thought would be an impossible task. But once you really know what your life purpose is and where you're going, then it's not a problem. It really isn't. I'm not saying there's not been hardships. Yes, there have. There's been times when I've had lack of money. The places that I've been, my living surroundings haven't been great. I've been in a very, very small rooms with little amenities. But none of that mattered because I had my passion. I was doing what I wanted to. So, now I'm joyfully happy and, I'm following my path and I'm becoming very, very successful. And this is something that I really want for you as well. So, and I'm not saying that you're going to have to go through these difficulties and hardships. I really hope and pray that doesn't happen for you. It doesn't need to. That was just my path. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. In a few minutes, I'm going to be talking all about that. I'm going to be telling you how to realize your life purpose once you've found it. So I'm Andy Shepherd of Shepherd Success Coaching. You're tuned in to Success Coach Andy on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
Coverage you can count on around the clock. News, Jim Howell on weather, and the KFNX traffic team. Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
This is the Blaze Radio News. I'm Greg Moore. The president blasting Russia about the investigation into the downing of Malaysia Airlines Flight 17. Here's the Blaze Radio's Kay Long.
Our hearts have been absolutely broken as we've learned more about the extraordinary and beautiful lives that were lost.
President Obama saying a full investigation must be allowed to happen in eastern Ukraine after last week's crash of a Malaysian airliner. In a statement at the White House, Obama accusing Russian-backed separatists of getting in the way of the investigation.
They've repeatedly prevented international investigators from gaining full access to the wreckage. As investigators approached, they fired their weapons into the air. These separatists are removing evidence from the crash site, all of which begs the question, what exactly are they trying to hide?
Obama calling Russian President Putin responsible for the rebels, saying he should get them to cooperate with investigators.
The National Guard is headed to the border. Here's the Blaze Radio's Tom Peace.
Governor Rick Perry planning to send up to 1,000 National Guard troops to the Texas-Mexico border. Texas Attorney General Greg Abbott explains why.
The state of Texas is doing what the federal government has failed to do, and that is to secure our border.
He says it's more than just women and children crossing the border illegally.
We're seeing very dangerous cartel members, MS-13 gang members. We've had women and children in the state of Texas who have been sexually assaulted by the people who have come across the border. We've had about 3,000 murders.
Abbott with Greta on Fox News.
2 Americans among the Israeli soldiers killed in Gaza on Sunday.
One of the 2 Americans fighting for the Israeli forces and losing his life, Max Steinberg, whose family lives in Southern California. Jake Steinberg saying his 24-year-old brother wanted to defend his new homeland. The other American killed, 21-year-old Nissim Sean Carmeli of South Padre Island, Texas.
That's the Blaze Radio's Chris Barnes. This is news on the Blaze Radio Network. Truth lives here.
Hi, everybody. Chet Reynolds from the KFNX Weather Center. Today, mostly sunny. Highs 105 to 107. Tonight, mostly clear with scattered clouds overnight. Low around 85 in the lower valley regions. Chet Reynolds, Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
Currently, in downtown Phoenix, it's 100 degrees.
After all the stories about Barack's, the car they had, and you could see the ground when they drove in it, it was so rusted out at the bottom, or he liked to move the old coffee table, and he had shoes that were too tight, and he helps Malia with her homework. And after all those stories, do you feel the robust recovery more today than you did yesterday?
Catch the Laura Ingraham Show Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. on KFNX.
Hey everyone, it's Edward Woodson, inviting you to tune in to the Edward Woodson Show. With me, your host, Edward Woodson. We'll talk business, politics, and the things that really make you mad.
Catch the Edward Woodson Show, weekdays from 5 to 6 a.m., only on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX.
I'm Edward Woodson, and I'm so mad!
Annuities are complicated. Before you buy an annuity, you should seek professional advice. Call Wayne Candace to review any annuity you're considering or currently own. Dial 480-ON-TAP-88. That's 480-ON-TAP-88 to reach MetLife's top financial advisor, Wayne Candace. Dial 480-ON-TAP-88. That's 480-668-2788. Securities, products, and investment advisory services are offered by MetLife Securities, Inc. Member FINRA, SIPC, and a registered investment advisor. MLIC and MSI are MetLife companies.
Roofing is very simple if you can see what the problem is. Hi, this is Jack the Roofer. We offer a free, detailed, no-obligation estimate. Pictures, easy to read, easy to understand. It's not a number scribbled on a card. We give you a detailed proposal of everything that we're going to do, simplified so you understand what's being done. Jack the Roofer, 602-996-7443, 602-996-7443.
Or email jacktheroofer@cox.net.
Earn $2,000 to $3,000 per month part-time in a home-based business with a purpose. Earn as much as $8,000 to $10,000 per month full-time as a marketing rep for a new line of products to be released by $1 billion company. That's right, we are partnering with $1 billion company in an industry that is set to explode in the next 2 years. To get started, text the word PURPOSE to 88202. Earn $2,000 to $3,000 per month part-time and $8,000 to $10,000 per month full-time. Text PURPOSE to 88202.
Hi, this is John Tesh. When I'm in Phoenix, I listen to the weather with Jim Howell on Independent Talk, 1100 KFNX. Catch my show Saturdays at 10 p.m.
It's a beautiful day.
Welcome back to Success Coach Andy. I'm Andy Shepherd of Shepherd Success Coaching, here with you every Monday at 9 p.m. on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. Tonight I'm talking about how to find your life purpose. So you want me to tell you how to find your life purpose, right? Well, before I do this, I want to inspire you to follow through once you've found it. That's okay, isn't it? I'm sure I can hear a few of you saying yes, so I'm going to carry on. I'm going to show you how you can get to the place which is your life purpose. I know this may seem to be the wrong order, but if you know how to get where you're meant to be, and you can see that you can do it, you're going to be much more interested in doing this as an exercise. That's a great idea, right? Okay, so here's how you can get the most out of your life. This is kind of similar. This is following some of the lines of The Secret, but basically I've added quite a bit more to it because there are bits missing. In the future, I'm going to probably going to do a show where I'm just talking about how law of attraction works, because it is something that's real. I've been using this for years, and I've seen lots of other people who've done it. So if you don't like this woo-woo stuff, this law of attraction, just forget it. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. If there's anything that I say that you don't agree with, you don't like, just kick it out, and just focus on the things that you find interesting to you. I'm sure there's going to be one or two things that if you incorporate into your life are going to make a big difference, and that's what I'm interested in. We're different people. I don't expect you to agree with everything that I do and think of and say, and I'm sure that you are the same. So what I'm going to give you here is 11 steps on how to go about this process of getting to your wherever you want to be once you've found what it is, your purpose for your life. And this can kind of follow for other things as well, for things that you want. So the first thing you need to do, step one, is you need to dream, and dream really, really, really big, because this is basically something that you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. So this dreaming big is basically the process that I'm going to take you through in the last segment of the show. So once you've found it, you've got your dream, and it's a big dream, step two is to believe it's possible to achieve. And, and basically, know that this is your life purpose. So this is, you deserve it because it is yours. The next part is to have faith that you can do it and that it is possible. And knowing it's your life purpose, then I'm very hopeful that, that you can see that is okay, because it's destined. You have been created to do this. So once you've found it, then this faith is going to be pretty easy for you. You're going to see that there's no question about it. To get you there faster, then you need to connect to the universe. So the way that you do this is maybe you connect to God, so depending on whatever your religion is. So you need to pray to whoever you believe in, whoever the creator is for you. If you're not into that, you don't believe that, or wherever you are, then, use visualization, because this is the same way that we're communicating. Like I say, the mind is very, very powerful, and I believe in something that there's a guy called Wallace D. Wattles. He said in 1901 in his book, The Science of Getting Rich, that basically there is abundance in the universe. And finally, step 5 is to take that leap. Burn your bridges, burn your boats, if you like. I mean, you've heard of the story of the soldiers who were invading an island, and basically they were told that they had to burn their boats because there was no turning back. They had to win the battle, and that is exactly what they did. If you've just tuned in, you're listening to Success Coach Andy. I'm Andy Shepherd on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. I'd like you to go to successcoachandy.com, because there you'll find a PDF on accountability. Accountability is a really, really effective tool for getting your goals achieved and met. So go to successcoachandy.com and get your free copy. Let's continue with how to find your life purpose. So we're going through 11 steps here. So let's carry on and go for the next 6 steps and start with number 6. So this is a very, very crucial thing. Don't stop until you've achieved your goal. You just need to keep going. And basically, this means that if you're going forward and you can't, you've reached a brick wall, you can't get it done, it's just not working, what you need to do is try something else. And if that doesn't work, what do? Go try something else. If that doesn't work, what do? Try something else. And if that doesn't work, can I hear you? Yeah, try something else. You got it. You just got to keep going. My mantra is I'm unstoppable, and it's the greatest mantra possible because it doesn't matter what happens, because there are times when, like in Rocky, they say, Rocky 4, he says, life's going to beat you down. And unfortunately, it seems to be that way. But if you have this mantra, I'm unstoppable and I'm not going to stop until I get to my goal, you're going to win. And that's what winning is all about. That is what is going to get you there. The next stage is stage 7 will be celebrating each win, no matter how small it is. And this is really, really important because you're kind of programming your nervous system. It goes into a really deep level that winning is something that is you get a good feeling about. So you're going to automatically start finding more ways to win. And, you'll just keep doing it, which is fantastic. So, and the 8th step will be, to enjoy the journey. I remember seeing Esther Hicks in Long Beach, and, this is what she was talking about a lot, and I've heard lots of other people talk about it. Tony Robbins talks about it. Everybody does. Jack Canfield, Bob Proctor, all of them. And it's so true, because we all focus on the end. We focus on having the object, whatever it is, the $1 million, to have the car or the holiday or whatever it is, or bigger things than this. Well, why can't we just enjoy the process of getting us there? Wouldn't that be neat? So, and that's really, really what I recommend, that we enjoy that process. Because once we've got whatever we're aiming for, then it's going to be over pretty quickly. For example, I remember my dream was to have a Mercedes, and eventually I got that. And yeah, I enjoyed that car every day. Of course I did. It was a great car to drive. Anybody who's ever had a Mercedes, you'll know what I'm talking about. But after a few months, it wore off. It was just a car. It got me from A to B. I forgot about the other cars that I'd had. I forgot about what they felt like to drive. Everything just becomes complacent. So, I don't want you to have that. And imagine it. Some things are going to take you years to achieve. So if you can enjoy the process, then that is going to be something that is going to be fabulous. I remember for me, when I was creating my school, I really did enjoy the process so much because I was doing creating the website, I was doing all of the advertising for it, I was choosing the books that we used, the paint scheme for it, and the different designs of how it was. It was absolutely fantastic. So I really, really recommend that because, the journey, you're going to spend most of your time doing the journey. So if you can get to the point where you're enjoying it, then that is so important. So number 9 is the journey is more important than the achievement. If you can realize that, then you're going to really, really have a great time out of it. Number 10, this is pretty obvious. You need to celebrate. So not just like your small, tiny little celebrations. Go and do something huge. Go and have a party. Go and get all of your friends together, all of the people who've helped you in collaboration or whatever it is. And, really make a mark out of it. So I'm not expecting you to go and spend huge amounts of money and, try not to go and do the obvious thing of getting really, really drunk, but just do something fun and something that is, positive. So, and this is really fantastic. And if you're talking about any process which is apart from getting, doing your final, the thing that you've been put on this planet to do, then move on to the next and repeat. So this is a formula for getting whatever you want out of life. Okay? So I'm Andy Shepherd of Shepherd Success Coaching. When we return, I'm going to take you through the process of finding your life purpose. So
Are you experiencing frustration or desperation and you don't know the way out? There is a solution. There is light beyond the tunnel. Start to live life on your terms, the way you've always wanted. Visit SuccessCoachAndy.com. SuccessCoachAndy.com. Change can happen in an instant. To learn more about Andy's seminars or for opportunities to have him as your personal coach, call 310-774-6691. That's 310-774-6691.
America is truly exceptional, and she deserves to be defended in the face of a rogue and runaway government. As respecters of freedom, we must commit to raising the banner of freedom for all to see. Hi, this is Shane Krauser, the director of the American Academy for Constitutional Education. Inspire your group and give them the tools and education to move this message forward. Schedule us to speak at your next event by visiting us at aafce.com. America's best days are yet to come. That's aafce.com.
You cannot see it. You can't see it, but it's there.
Many of our veterans are suffering the effects of invisible wounds.
If left untreated, post-traumatic stress disorder and traumatic brain injury
can lead to homelessness, addictions,
broken marriages, and suicide.
PTSD and TBI are treatable.
No invisible wound is too mild to ignore or too severe to lose hope. Please, ask for help.
We're here with Dr. Mark Murphy, the Medical Director of Depression Recovery Centers in Scottsdale. Welcome.
Thanks, Gavin. I'm glad to be here.
We've been hearing a lot of amazing things about ketamine treating depression on a national level. Researchers have called it the greatest development in depression science in the last 50 years. So, Dr. Murphy, what can you tell us about ketamine treatment for depression here in the Valley?
Ketamine's been used safely as an operating room anesthetic for over 40 years. Recent research has shown ketamine works to relieve severe depression extraordinarily well. At depression recovery centers, we see remission rates over 70% with patients who've tried several antidepressants without any relief. We offer a money-back mood guarantee and wish to work alongside your current mental health team. There is no longer a reason to let severe depression limit you or your loved one's life.
How can people get a free evaluation?
Go to depressionrecoverycenters.com and enter the code HAPPY on our contact form for a free evaluation.
Earn $2,000 to $3,000 per month part-time in a home-based business with a purpose. Earn as much as $8,000 to $10,000 per month full-time as a marketing rep for a new line of products to be released by a billion-dollar company. That's right, we are partnering with a billion-dollar company in an industry that is set to explode in the next 2 years. To get started, text the word PURPOSE to 88202. Earn $2,000 to $3,000 per month part-time and $8,000 to $10,000 per month full-time. Text PURPOSE to 88202.
It's my
Welcome back to Success Coach Andy. I'm Andy Shepherd of Shepherd Success Coaching, here with you every Monday at 9 p.m. on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. Tonight I've been talking about how to find your life purpose. So here it is. Here's the moment you've been waiting for. Thank you for being so patient, but I needed to just talk around the different parts to get you prepared for this part. So this is the process of finding your life purpose, to find what you were put on this planet to be. I know that sounds as if it's probably impossible, but it isn't. You're excited, right? Well, you should be. This could totally change your life for the better. I'm going to go through this process. Basically, this is something that it takes a while. So maybe you need to write some notes quickly. I'm going to start talking about it in any second now. And this is definitely something that I coach people through. So it will be my pleasure. If any of you want to, I'm going to mention the telephone number again. But if you want to do coaching with me, it's 310-774-6691. That's 310-774-6691. So let me tell you about the process. What you need to do is I want you to think back to when you were between 5 and 10 years old. So just think about what you wanted to do. Think about why you wanted to be that, why you wanted to do that job, be that thing, whatever it was. Think about who your role models were. Who did you like? Who was it? Like pop stars or like film stars or people around you? Who were your role models? Who was important to you? What was the feeling you were hoping to get from whatever that was? What were those feelings and sensations? Really go back and really, I want you to go back and feel them. You know, maybe it could be, it may seem like a long time since you've been between 5 and 10 years old, but, you can go back. Just imagine it. I'm sure something will come back to you. So find that something that you love to do, where time just flew by effortlessly. And then what I want you to do is just think of another and another and keep doing this and write each of these, the answers to each of these questions and each of these inspired thoughts. Write them down until you've got nothing left. There's nothing left that you can think of. Then what I want you to do with this list that you've got here, with all of this information, to just think of something that would fit, which would have all of these met, would fit all of these criteria. Remembering that it's the feeling that you're getting from this that's important, okay? So how would it make you feel? That is so important to you. So let me tell you about myself. So there's been all sorts of false starts about what I wanted to do before I went through this process. But when I look back and when I did this process, it all made sense to me. Ever since I can remember, I've loved helping people. I used to spend all of my time doing this, all of my waking hours. And so this is what really helped me to go through. If you've just tuned in, you're listening to Success Coach Andy. I'm Andy Shepherd on Independent Talk 1100 KFNX. Go to successcoachandy.com and get your free PDF on accountability. Accountability is an extremely powerful and effective tool in getting goals achieved and met. So go to successcoachandy.com and get your free copy. So like I say, what I did was, I wanted to help people so bad when I was young. I was always listening to their problems. I'd talk till, very late at night and be listening very tentatively. But I didn't have the tools to help them. Now I do. The other thing that I used to love was I love drama. I love being in front of an audience. I love music. I love playing electric guitar. This is going to make you all laugh now, okay? So I used to think about even being a rock singer, rock guitarist. So I kind of grew out of that, I guess. But if you think about it now, it all fits what I do. I'm in front of lots of people. I'm on stage regularly. Here I am on the radio. I've done various television bits and pieces for cable TV back in Brazil, for example. I've been on, I'm always making videos. And I absolutely adore and love helping people. It gets me such a buzz when people tell me how their life has been better, when I get testimonials from people and so on. So, I really would like to do the same for you as well. So what I'd like to do is just tell you a little bit about my coaching services. So the way that I work is that I will do the several parts of what I do. One of them is that basically there's always something that is holding us back and stopping us from getting where we want to be. So basically I'm going to help you with this. Because if there's stuff that's holding you back, it's really not going to, it's obviously not helpful, is it? And, you know, there's so many people that I've met who've had this, and they just don't know where they're going to. I had a friend of mine who everything was falling apart for him. He was losing his marriage. He was losing the business that he was in. He was being employed. But he'd been very successful. He'd earned lots and lots of money. But what had happened was he kind of hit a level where he just couldn't stand making more money. There was a psychological block. So I worked with him, and now once we've gone through that block and he's accepted the flow of money coming into his life, it's completely and utterly changed everything. And he's now so successful that his business is regularly advertising on TV, and he's opening up new stores. And he was even talking about moving and doing something out here in America. I'm sorry, I didn't say the guy was actually in Brazil when I was living in Brazil. So that is one blockage that I removed for him, which really helped him to move forward. I work on goal setting as well. I talked about the free chapter on accountability that is from a book that I wrote with David T. Fagan called Zero to Hero. So accountability is really important. And we think we know what accountability is, but there's different kind of levels of it. So that's something that I recommend that you read, or I work with you on. The next thing that I work on is basically I've got techniques which will get you there fast, because once you've found out what it is that you want from your life and you find that you really can achieve this, then I'm going to show you how to get there quickly. I have a client of mine who is going to be a New York Times best-selling author. That's where he's going to. So he's going to get there. I'm sure he is. And the final thing, which is really, really useful, is, you know, to have a sixth sense, to have the intuition of knowing what is going on and how to get you there. Also, I'm authentic. Everything that I tell you is not made up. I've tested this. I've proved it. I've used it on myself, and it really works. So, like I said to you, my free PDF on accountability, go to successcoachandy.com and get your free copy. Also, I'd like you to look at calling me. Give me a call on 310-774-6691, and let's get things moving in the direction you want as quickly as possible. Let's get you to find out what your life purpose is, because once you've done that, you're really, really going to be cranking then, where your life will just completely change for the better. So that is something that I really, really would like to work with you on. I just want to thank Dustin for keeping everything running smoothly, and for all of you for listening. This is Andy Shepherd, and next Monday I'll be here at 9 o'clock, and I'll be talking about From Dreadful to Dream, Your Life Transformed. You're listening to Independent Talk 1100 KFNX.